Hey everyone, glad to be live with you again. I'm here with Tim McCoy.
As a male therapist, you seem to protect yourself as well. It's easy to get in trouble. I've been in a clinic and I've seen things, where a lot of male therapists get in trouble for things that may not be bad, but it's your perception.
Can you
It's
give
the
me like
perception
an
that really counts.
idea? Because I've never worked in a facility in any sort of like managerial or real educational capacity long term. Like,
Right.
what's some of the stuff you see that male therapists like they get in trouble? But
Man, it could be something simple as an air they give, and at the beginning, it could be something that maybe it's not confidence. They don't show confidence. There's not a connection, and so that just kind of sets off this mood in the session. And it could be a small infraction. It could be the draping was too tight. you know Sometimes it's the other way around, but it could just be little things. Sometimes trying to be friendly, I think somebody may talk too much and may say the wrong thing, trying to make a connection. Just those simple things. But man, I mean, it's ranged from a husband being upset because their wife went to go to a male massage therapist, and nothing at all went wrong in the session. So, man, it's hard to combat that when you're in a clinic because you're seeing
yeah,
new people. You're just seeing no people.
yeah,
There's no rapport or anything like that.
yeah.
Building your business to where you don't see new clients, or maybe you have referrals directly out from clients that you've had. I think that's one of the best things for both people, for male
Yeah.
and female. I think you're totally right on that.
There's so much nuance, and I bring up lots of like romantic and like dating stuff in my classes to try to explain the nuance between like, getting a massage in a clinic, getting a massage in a spa, getting a massage in someone's home studio, getting, at a retreat center. Like there's a various geographic locations, and then like going on a coffee date, having dinner, getting fast food, or having like a six course French meal. Like there's this range, and it's a little hard because you're teaching some emotional intelligence and
Right.
interpersonal communication skills, which I don't think are heavily covered in a 500-hour program in core curriculum.
It's
It's
hard.
hard. Yeah, it's hard to convey, and I continue to sort of bump against those things. What I am is very much an ally, and I try to explain to women as easily as I can. These are the ways I think you can avoid certain things, and I also get feedback from other women in my classes to try to supplement and bolster those ideas. And at the same time, building your practice. I mean, even just your website, and the website is this completely digital thing. It just exists in the ether, right? But if you have a good website with photos of you, like if I go to a massage therapist website and they don't have a picture of themselves, I don't
See,
care how good the testimonials are.
so that's where we've ran into things in a clinic. There's some therapists that don't want to put their face out because there's guys that'll just stroll through and just look at the faces and be like, "Ah, that's who I want." And a lot of those times, especially in a clinic, they're creepers. I hate to say that, and I don't want to think that, but sometimes they're creepers, and I think ladies are afraid of that. So putting their name out there. So this is where we kind of come in a slightly different. You have always championed business, build your business, business, business. Yes, man, I totally agree with you, man, because I've definitely taken a lot of tricks out of your bag and used them myself. But to me, I think to help reduce, anything is build your skill. That's what I've found, especially with the girl that I had an office with. Her skill was really, really good, and she knew exactly what she did. And when she got in the session, there wasn't any, can you go harder? Can you go harder 3 times, or can you get this spot? And then, if that happens, a gentleman's mind may go somewhere else. He's like, oh, she's not really doing anything. So it may go somewhere else. So to me, if you have skill and you can apply it right away, I think everything else kind of, goes out the mind. And I think that builds respect. I think that's my opinion.
Also, when I talk about a photo, I have a tendency to think about independent practitioners more so than a public spa, because the spa is the face in a sense, not the individual therapist per se. But beyond photos, it's like blog posts, videos, education, the way the website is structured to select their service and what they're getting. You're setting all this context for what's going on.
Right.
If there's no information on a website or no information on their social media profiles and no photos.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, do you think if they have information on there and not a photo, do you think it's still good? Do you think they'll want to see what it's about? I think that I kind of go with some of the ladies. I think that filters out some of the creepers. If you're really about the body work, you're going to see what somebody has to say. And if they say certain trigger words.
The problem is they're connecting with you. And that's why I say have a photo. Now, you get to control what the photo is. Now, I tell women this all the time. They're like, Robert, how to keep myself safe? I'm like, okay, I want you to go to a shooting range and I want you to shoot guns. And I want you to take photos and videos of that and put it on your website. And then I want you to go train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with Tim McCoy. And I want you to take photos and videos of you training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and put that on your website with that photo. And I want to see how many guys call you who have untoward.
I know it's a joke, but the last person I had my office with, Brittany, she was a gun fanatic. She, on her Instagram, she's shooting machine guns and things like that. She's totally a gun fanatic. So I don't know if those had anything, to do with her retention rate and her, not dealing with so many creepers. I guess you're going to, men and women, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I really think down deep is confidence. And that's what, to me, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu did. When you're shooting a gun, you build confidence in yourself. And when you build confidence in yourself, I think you're able to speak up for yourself in certain situations and actually tell people what the deal is, and this is what I do, this is what I don't do. And, you don't care about, you're ruthless. You don't care about people's feelings at that point. This is what I do, and this is what you're going to get. And, we don't do any of that other stuff. So,
yeah,
that's how.
I don't really think it's either or. I don't think that you and I were arguing about which, position to take. But it is a challenge as an educator. Like, how do we keep women safe? I had a woman in a class ask me, because I was talking about social media using Instagram or other platforms to like build their presence. And the lady said, well, what do I do about stalkers? And I just sat back and was like, oh, man, like, because you want to say, well, you just have to deal with it. But it's like what I have to do is I have to tell women to deal with America at this point, which is a really challenging situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the answer you want to hear, and it's not the answer I want to hear. I mean, I'm just, I've never been approached with that question before. How do you deal with stalkers? I mean, man.
Block them.
Yes, I'm trying to think of, some people that I would deal with. What would they say? Block them, but man, if they're, relentless, I don't know. Again, block them and report them. I guess it's easy to report people these days, isn't it? I mean, for almost anything.
In some ways easier, I guess, yes. But at the same time, it's the website, it's your business skill, it's your bodywork skill, your professional presence. Where is your office? What's your location? What kind of work are you doing? There's just like, if you work on all of it, and it'll take time, it may take several years to build a really burgeoning practice. I think after that point, you don't have to deal with it anymore. Senior therapists who've worked for years, in my experience, especially if they're good, they're not really fighting to get new clients. They're almost like, whew, okay, I need to figure out how to take a vacation. Like, I'm getting stressed out. There's so many people trying to come in. Right. And that's a different issue, because now your great clients are sending you more great clients like them. You've established yourself. The problem is getting to that established place.
Right.